This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup, register, and attend one of our fantastic networking meetings, which we meet on the first and third Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park, and the second and fourth Thursday at the Upper Crust in Newtown Square. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today I'm joined by Alyssa Canalichio of Stellar Entertainment. Alyssa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, how you doing, Rich? What's up, Delco?
Well, what's up, Delco? What is Stellar Entertainment, Alyssa?
Stellar Entertainment is a plethora of many entrepreneurial creative endeavors that I've taken on and decided to officially have as my own business as a young lady that's an entrepreneur trying to make it in America or the world, really.
What are some of the things that Stellar Entertainment does or provides?
So Stellar Entertainment, some of the things that it provides are I dress up as princesses for kids' parties. So right now my characters are Elsa, Anna, Minnie Mouse. I also have Belle and Beast to make an appearance. And I also have incorporated Mermaid, and that dives into the next phase. I create and sell mermaid merchandise. I have everything from barrettes, headbands, rings, little compact mirrors that have seashells on them, and they could be customized with names or just the first initial of your name. I have treasure boxes that I make with resin inside, so you could put little trinkets in there. That's been a fun little most recent part of the business. I also sing in general, so I can be booked for weddings, corporate events, little dive bars. I can do restaurants, so it really just depends on the event. I've also been booked for senior homes. I do work for senior home living, and that's mostly during the week in the afternoons. And I also give back to the community, and I perform for the disabled in the community of Delco. That's run by Jim Worster, I believe his name is. So I'm sorry if I butchered you, Jim. But yeah, so it's just a plethora of things. I think that's most of what I have going on under Stellar Entertainment.
Jim Worster, our community cup coffee. You got his last name dialed in correctly. All right, so you said a lot of things. You have these wonderful costumes that you wear, you sing, you are a mermaid, you have other things that you make and sell. How did you get into all that?
So I want to say it started in 2017, and I was 27, and I was just trying to find myself in my 20s. Although singing has been my primary gift and my talent, it has been a little bit of a difficulty trying to make it full time. So in between my 20s, trying to make that full time, I was diving into other side jobs, side hustles, whatever you want to call them. I was serving for about 7 years. And then in 2017, I stumbled upon a company called Pure Romance, which is very similar to Mary Kay, 31, Pampered Chef, the Tupperware parties. And Pure Romance was a fun adventure for me. It really opened me up to self-development and knowing what it is to run your own business and work for yourself and work for a commission. And it's not for everyone. It was definitely eye-opening, and it helped me grow a lot because most of my background growing up as a young adolescent, I didn't have a lot of guidance on what it would be like to be a functioning regular adult, just doing what they have to do in the world. So this company really helped me with that. I had a sisterhood behind me, and it talked about branding and branding yourself. So during, I want to say, the next 4 to 5 years, I was doing that. So a lot of the community in Delco and in Philadelphia knew me for singing and Pure Romance parties. And slowly but surely, I started to manifest the singing full time. and it led to a lot of great opportunities. Some were on television. I've been all over the world. And as time went by, I started to just kind of branch out of pure romance. As you can see, some of my stuff is still behind me, my little lingerie pieces. It was focused on bath, beauty, skincare, wellness, health, and it also was a main focus for adult novelty. So I had a lot of fun with that. And as of late last year, I hung up my pure romance coat and said, okay, let's try something different, because I started getting booked more for performing. And I still wanted to be able to have something to offer. I do have a home office. And this year I created Stellar Entertainment LLC as of March 2024. And I left corporate America. There were a few times that I was working at office jobs and I was just not happy. So I decided to think about all of the tools that pure romance gave me to have the confidence to work for myself and know that I can do it. So it was just a leap of faith, and it's been a fun adventure since.
Singing, what genre, or when people look to have you sing or hear you sing, what kind of genre of music are you singing for people?
Oh man, that's so much fun. So the professional thing is that I'm trained in everything. I've sung opera before. I've performed long ballads. As they say, wedding singers, we have to know mostly top 40 songs, lots of cocktail hour type songs, jazz. What I love to sing, which is most of my wheelhouse because of my family background, is alternative rock, early 90s, early 2000s, the grunge era, Alanis Morissette, Evanescence, Paramore. Let's see. And then there's also Broadway and Disney. I'm a theater kid at heart. But since I've been doing the senior homes as well, I've dived into some of the late 60s, some of the 20s eras, some Billie Holiday. So I'm very eclectic. There's a lot of variety. So it just depends on the day, really, and where I am.
How did things go to singing, performing, to where you're becoming characters, where you're bringing another personality into a party or an event?
It's so funny. The character thing has definitely been since I was young. Like I would be 3, 4 years old imitating my favorite characters on TV and doing it for my parents. But professionally, it started when I was in dancing school. My dance teacher, Jason Douglas from Dance Adelphia, knew that I could sing and was a great catalyst and almost a coach for me to kind of push me to not only dance at recitals, but he encouraged me to sing. And it kind of just happened by accident. I think it was 2013 when Frozen came out. We were doing obviously all Frozen songs and helping little kids perform for the recital. And he brought the idea to me to dress up as Elsa and be on stage with the kids and sing. So I did. And since that moment, I had parents coming up to me asking if I would do kids' birthday parties. And it's taken off since then. But I did it here and there, and I wasn't really ready or had the mindset to take it on as a business. And I kept it, and I always kept something in my closet just in case someone called me. And then I became friends with other performers in the area. There's an amazing woman named Rebecca who owns Pretty Princess, New Jersey, and she has incorporated me for some of her acts, and she would give me just opportunities to dress up as Encanto characters or mascots, show up to schools. So it's basically been word of mouth, and it's really been taking off. And I just have been making little ads and videos online and just talking about what I do. Yeah.
That sounds like a tremendous amount of fun. Earlier, you mentioned Netflix. What are you doing on Netflix? I haven't seen it, but what should I be looking for?
Oh man, that was such a time. Let me tell you. So this was right before the pandemic hit, 2019. It was a very rough year for me personally. And the only thing that I knew that kept me going was to sing. So I decided to take a leap of faith, and I kept recording myself singing and posting minute snippets, what I call them, on Instagram. And a company reached out to me, commented, said, "We want you to audition for a big show. It's going to be their first season." And I almost didn't believe it, Rich. If some people were scared for me, they were like, "What if this is trafficking? You don't know." And I said, "You know what? If this is how I go, at least I was going for my dreams." So I called the number, and it turned out that they were right in my backyard. They were holding auditions in the city. I made the audition, and long story short, it's called Sing On. It's on Netflix. It's hosted by Titus Burgess, and I am on episode 2. And it was such a great opportunity. They flew me to London on Halloween, which is my favorite holiday. So it just felt like a Lifetime movie. And to be in that kind of world, it was truly amazing. I made some great friends. I learned very fast how editing and how reality TV works. And it was just such a blast. And I gotta say, like, it's my first like worldwide opportunity. So I've had people reach out to me, and most of it was great feedback. Some of it, you know, some people like you or they don't, and some people don't understand the Philadelphia spunk. So I'm a South Philly born and raised, so I brought it with me to the show, and it was just a blast. I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I've been looking forward to more since then. I've had a few spurts here and there, so I just keep on going. But I hope you check it out. It's a game show, so there's one winner every episode, and there's 6 contestants, and we all compete for a jackpot. And the better you sang, according to the notes, the more money you accrued. So it was very similar to Guitar Hero, if anyone remembers that game.
You touched upon some challenges, some things that you have lived to overcome. Can you talk about some of those challenges?
2019, we'll start there. Well, actually, no, 2017. There were some close family members that were very abusive and not well, and I had to kind of stand up for myself and take a leap of faith there and take care of people in my family that weren't able to take care of themselves and kind of see them through. And one of them was really near and dear to my heart. She passed away from lung cancer, but I took care of her to the end. And then after that, 2019, I went through a very hard breakup, and I had my home, and this person moved in with me. And at the time I was hoping, oh, well, we'll do this together. And I wanted more than the person was able to see for both of us, and they just weren't ready. So it was a difficult situation, and there was toxicity and some drug abuse involved with the person. And it was a very scary time, but I had to kind of stand up for myself and put my foot down on the situation, because that's a majority of why I've left Philadelphia, to kind of create a new life here in Delco. And so in 2019, I was very afraid. I didn't know how I was going to take care of my home by myself, a single woman, owning a home, trying to keep up with things that break, taxes, still trying to go after the dream. And I've had many people say, oh, you're living a pipe dream, just get a regular job, just do this, just do that. And it was a lot of looking for myself and finding where I needed to, be, and to really accept myself for where I am and kind of have enough confidence to know that I can make it work. So I started doing some more work aside from talk therapy. I invested in coaching. So I had a few coaches that I met online that helped me with self-development. I've listened to Tony Robbins books, audiobooks, and I really just wanted to learn from the mistakes of close family members and not become like them, and really just kind of embrace the idea of, well, who can I be and not be behind the shadow of who they are with drug abuse and mental illness. And then, so life was turning around immensely, and the Netflix show was great. I want to say a few years after that, I had a benign tumor on my left ovary that grew to the size of a baseball, and I had to encounter that alone. And in that time, I had just met my then boyfriend, but he's now my fiance, and great man. He's also in the entertainment industry, a wrestler, podcaster, comedian. And it's just been a great experience. Because of my growth, I started to attracting the right kind of partner to be not just a partner, but a teammate and someone who can, take on life with me. And within the 3 years, I then had gotten diagnosed with thyroid cancer. So as of this year, it's a year, this past April, that I conquered stage 1 thyroid cancer. So there is a tiny little scar on my neck. And that was a scary time. The fall of 2022 into 2023, I thought, what's going on with my voice? I can't sing right. And I thought maybe I'm not warming up enough. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should go see a vocal coach. And people started to notice that there was a lump on my throat. And I went to my ENT, and we got the testing, did some biopsies. And on my birthday, they had to tell me it was malignant. You couldn't wait one day. My 33rd birthday, you're going to tell me. So I took a week to kind of just process, cry, have like a little freak out, because it's scary. And this was my livelihood. So I had to, kind of think, whoa, what is your backup plan going to be? Are you going to go back to pure romance? Or are you going to, just in case you don't sound the same? And one of my good friends, Kelly Glover, she's also a talented individual. I talked with her on the phone, and she said, you know what? Put it in God's hands. You're going to come back with better vocals. You're going to come back having more of a range like Mariah Carey. So I left it up to God. I prayed. I had James by my side. I had a great support system in the area because I was working at Jabs Fitness at the time. So a lot of the women in the area knew who I was, and they were supportive of me. So I had a successful surgery, successful recovery. My surgery was April 12th. I was singing again May 6th.
Thank you for sharing that journey. One word that stands out strongly to me is resilience. Through each encounter, through each experience, the highs and lows, there's that component of resilience for you. You said something about self-development of your own, and I'm sure that there are some tools that you have that you utilize for self-development. What are some of the things that you use for you or that you share with others in terms of your self-development journey?
There's a couple of popular ones that, everyone says in quotes, but there's journaling. So you can either just write about your day and get your thoughts out, or you can write to yourself. There's also something called freehand journaling, where you just kind of write what immediately comes to your mind, and you never know, there might be a good idea. Because there's always some kind of chitter chatter in the back of our minds, and it's good to kind of get that out there. Talk therapy has been amazing. It just depends on who fits you. That's not always for everyone, and not every therapist is the great match. So that has been trial and error. Meditation has been a great help to me. My grandmother is Buddhist, Nichiren Buddhist. So there's a famous chant called Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And I have a little gohanzen, and inside is a scroll in Japanese. And basically you take at least 10 to 15 minutes, either once or twice a day, to kind of sit with yourself, do that chant. And the gohanzen is kind of like the mirror of yourself. So you're kind of looking at yourself in a way and just going within. Let's see. There's also meditation to high frequencies. So I'm getting a little woo-woo here, but there's YouTube channels where you can put in like 432 megahertz or 888 for abundance, and you can just sit and listen, go to sleep to it. There's mirror work where you can look in the mirror and kind of just, you can talk to yourself, but that would sound a little off for some people. But it's kind of also doing an inner child work. So you can kind of go back and think of your younger self and, how would my younger self react to a situation? And maybe there's moments where we're nervous or scared, and that's usually our inner selves, needing reassurance. So it's all about reparenting yourself. And just some of those tools alone have helped. Or coloring. I like coloring mandalas if I just need to zone out.
Lots of self-reflection, lots of creativity. And you can see your creativity takes center stage when you present yourself as a princess, as a mermaid, singing for, in those cases, anyone as an audience. That creativity shines, and your light is just, you beam to everybody. And I can feel that in our conversation. You have this inner light that just wants to touch everybody that you come in contact with. And I think when we talk about this, it reminds me, or it resonates with me, that everybody in Delco, everybody anywhere, but when we talk about going about your day-to-day life in Delco, everybody has a story. Alyssa, you have a story. And when we take the time to get to know our community, our neighbors, we learn that the fascinating stories and the challenges and the overcomes, and people that say, you know what, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to take what I know. I'm going to take the skills I have. I'm going to start a business like Stellar Entertainment and give my gifts and let them see what I can do and make people's day, change somebody's day for the better, touch upon them. You see the faces light up at birthday parties and senior centers and things like that. And I think that that's one key takeaway that I have from our conversation today. Alyssa, how do people find you when they want to, book you and your company for parties and all the things that you do? How do they find you?
Oh man, let's start with Facebook. So my full Facebook name is Alyssa Marie Canalichio. I could spell that Alyssa Marie, and the last name is Canalichio. And my Instagram is Alyssa_Marie_romance. And so you can find me on those places. I also am on TikTok as Philly Covers. You can also, I could probably send you a link to my website as well that has my email and my phone number. And cheap plug, you can find me at Fall Fest in front of Dolan's on October 13th, 1:30 to 4:30, performing in my duo called Meshed Up with my friend Brian. So that's just one of the public shows you can find me at in Delco.
I really appreciate how many people you're mentioning that have been a guest on the podcast. Dolan's was one of them as well, and they're in Ridley Park. So definitely check them out and go see Alyssa in person. Go to her website. We'll have that in the show notes too. Alyssa, who motivates you? Who inspires you?
Lady Gaga, Chaperone, Tony Robbins, Brene Brown, and I think his name is Les Brown as well.
Les Brown.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lots of people out there that have, again, experienced life with a lot of wisdom to share. I can certainly see at some point many people saying when they respond, who is motivated, who is inspired, Alyssa, your name most certainly will come up as one of those people. Keep doing what you're doing, focusing on what you're focusing on. And that is a certainty that I can believe in. Delco, you're going to one of your performances and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for a cheesesteak?
Coco's and Double Decker.
Coco's and Double Decker. Those are your cheesesteak options. All right. You finished with your performance. You finished with your performance. You have a pizza craving. Where are you stopping for pizza?
Coco's. I recently.
So Coco's is going. You're going there for cheesesteaks and pizza. That's your go-to.
Yeah. I think we touched. We caught them a few times. We had a WrestleMania party, and we got wings from them. We got pizza, cheesesteaks. We did the whole bit, and it was great. Oh my God! Every time I order from them, so good.
All right, Coco's needs to hire you for some sort of celebrity endorsement appearance or something like that.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. I've always wanted to be sponsored by somebody. Coco's, where you at? I'm around the corner, actually, so I'm not far. I'll just hop over on McDade.
You have a convenience store need? Where are you stopping, Wawa or Royal Farms?
Of Wawa.
Alyssa, you've traveled in different parts of the country, outside into the world, and somebody says, Delco, I've never heard of that. What is Delco? How do you explain Delco to people?
Yo, Delco is so full of community, a lot of down-to-earth people. It's like a mix of chill and over the top. Like they know when to be over the top. I don't know if that makes sense, but the amount of events that happen here have been so great. The community, the Ridley Parkers, the little signs everywhere. It's very like suburban, but it's still close enough to the city, and there's a lot of convenience. So it's a perfect medium, and just a lot of great people here. Everyone's mostly in good spirits, which is awesome. I also forgot to mention, I teach at Let There Be Rock School, which has been best of Delco for like a bunch of years in a row. I think we just got it this year too.
Well, congratulations, and continue to inspire again. There's another thread in your tapestry that you continue to bring to the world. You have friends or family coming in from out of town. You want to give them or take them to a Delco experience. Where are you sending them, or where are you taking them?
Rosemary's, shout out. Rosemary's, I absolutely love what they did. I think it's a great spot for a fine dining experience because we haven't had that too close in Delco for a while. So I would take them to, let's see, for brunch, I would take them to Brick House. For happy hour dinner, Rosemary's. For after hour partying and some good drinks, Dolan's.
All right, it's going to be a Ridley Park day for Alyssa's friends and family coming in from out of town. That sounds like a lot of fun. Alyssa, is there anything we haven't talked about on the podcast today? Anything you want listeners to know more about you or more about Stellar Entertainment?
Well, Stellar Entertainment is also named after one of my personas. So I do write EDM music occasionally. I do have a couple of songs out on iTunes. One is called Restart, and that's under Alyssa Marie. And the other one is called Kimono Nights, and that's under my persona name, Semi di Stella, which means starseed in Italian. So I was trying to keep my Italian roots and do something different and kind of stand out. So when I was creating my business, I thought, how can I create Semi di Stella? So then I thought, Stellar Entertainment. So that's a fun little fact about the biz. And you can find my artist page _ Semi di Stella, all one word, _ on Instagram, where you'll find tons of mostly modeling photos. I take my persona outfit with me all over the world and create content. So I've been to Mexico with it. I've been to Indonesia, just a few places to name. And I created an outfit that was inspired by Fern Gully for all of my millennials out there that remember that movie. And it's just been a fun inspiration. And I hope to one day headline EDC as a performer and send me to Stella. So just going to speak it into existence. Hopefully one day you'll come back to this and say, yeah, she did it.
Alyssa, I thank you. You've inspired me today, and I appreciate that, your time. Delco, we have these gems in our community where at some point you're not going to be doing children's parties. Not that there's, anything wrong with that, but you're going to be booked and people are going to want to have you in their presence. And Delco, make Alyssa's calendar full right now, because in a certain amount of time, you're going to say, I wish we could have gotten her, but she's out touring with Lady Gaga, or she's out touring as a headliner on her own. Thank you for joining us today on the podcast. Thank you for being a friend of What's Happening, Delco. We can't wait to watch your star get brighter and, bring all that to people and just touch their hearts. So thank you for that. Thank
you so much. I think the last thing I'll say on that question of what can people expect when they book me, I really care about what you want. I mean, of course, everyone wants that at their event, but I really think about the bigger picture. Like, for example, if I'm singing at a restaurant, I'll look up the restaurant and look up the vibe. I'll match the vibe with my outfit. I'll, if there's a senior home, I take into account all the oldies and all the things that they want. And I also incorporate them. They want to be involved. They don't just want to sit and listen. Some of them want to get up and dance. Some of them want to feel alive again. And that I've gotten so much joy from that, and just as much light from them as I give to them. And it really means a lot that they tell me and you tell me that I have such a light and I can inspire. And I think that's the biggest energy and abundance that I could ask for. Ever since I was 7, I told my mom, God gave me a gift and that's my job. So if you were born with a gift, or if you have a niche, just know that that's what you were meant to do, and have enough courage and confidence in yourself, and you can make it happen for you too. Well said. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.